Hello, and welcome to your daily dose in spiritual Bible for me, baby. Now, excuse me, y'all. Today, I'm going to talk about Moses' wife, the Jewish man. Both Christians and Jewish alike had a problem with Moses' wife. I had a problem with Moses' wife because she looked like me. That was her problem. She looked like me. Alright, y'all. Moses' wife's name was Zipporah. Zipporah. Okay. Members of both the Christian and the Jewish faith are usually surprised to learn that the man of God chose to write the first 5 books of the Bible was married to a black woman, and he suffered persecution for it. Moses' wife was of Ethiopian, a Cushitic descendant, and her name was Zipporah. Undoubtedly, she was either very petite or premature at birth, for her name means small as a sparrow. And as gods are upon the sparrow, they were certainly upon this little woman of colors. Numbers 12 and 1. So she was small in stature. She wasn't a big girl. A little bitty thing. Zipporah was one of 7 daughters of Jethro, Ruel, a very wise priest of Midian, and she had a strict upbringing. Zipporah was no stranger to hard work because her father had herds of sheep, and she and her sisters tended to them. Neighboring shepherds often harassed these shepherdresses, and on the days Zipporah met her husband-to-be, she and her sisters came to draw water from the well and filled the trough so to water their father's flock of sheep. And when they came to Ruel, his father, and the shepherds stood up and ran them away, but Moses was at the well and stood up and helped them water his flock. So Moses did the gentleman thing, and that was her future husband. Big Moses and little Zipporah. Okay. And when they came to Ruel, their father, and he said, "How is it that ye have finished so soon today?" And they said, "An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew enough water for us and watered the flocks." Exodus 2:15-21. And it's interesting that Zipporah thought Moses was Egyptian because of his stature and the way he stood and of his mannerisms, because he had been reared as an Egyptian in the kingdom of the Pharaoh. Jethro was shocked at his daughter's manners towards the supposed Egyptian and sent him out to find the man to invite him to eat with them. Moses and Jethro had great rapport with one another, so much so that Jethro wanted Moses in his family. Being a priest of Midian, Jethro gave his daughter to Moses according to their customs and practices of priesthood. Moses was considerably older than Zipporah when they married, yet Moses was able to father a child by Zipporah, for he had physical prowess of a young man, which he exhibited in chasing away the men who were harassing his future wife and his sister-in-laws. I love this story. Exodus 2:17. Even when Moses died at the ripe age of 120, the Bible states his natural forces were not abated, neither were his eyes dim. The natural forces spoke of were included Moses' reproductive system. So see, God kept Moses fertile in order to impregnate Zipporah. Zipporah bore Moses a son whom Moses named Gershom, which means I am a stranger in a strange land. Undoubtedly, this referred to Moses as he had left Egypt and found himself in unfamiliar territory. After giving birth to their son, Zipporah disagreed with Moses about which religion their firstborn should practice. Zipporah wanted to raise the Gershom in her family's priestly customs, whereas Moses wanted to raise a son as a Hebrew, which demanded circumcision. Zipporah thought circumcision was barbaric and would not allow such butchery to be performed on her son because his Ethiopian wife opposed the practices. Moses was reluctant to circumcise his son Gershom. Nevertheless, God wanted Moses' family under the Hebrew covenant, which meant the child was to be circumcised. God became so angry at Moses' disobedience that while Moses and his family were on their way to Egypt to deliver God's message to the Pharaoh, God himself was going to kill Moses because Moses was disobedient. God wanted Moses' son under the circumcision, and he didn't do it. So God was going to take Moses out. And it came to pass by the way in the end that the Lord met him and sought to kill him. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, "Surely thou art a bloody husband to me." So God let him go. Then she said, "A bloody husband art thou because of circumcision." So Zipporah circumcised him. After this episode, Moses sent his pregnant Ethiopian wife with his crying son back to her father, and they missed out on the great things God their Savior had done in Egypt, the wondrous works in the land of Ham, and the terrific things by the Red Sea. So Zipporah was not with him because she had a problem with what Moses was doing, and so therefore she missed the blessings of God. Zipporah and Moses' marriage got up to a rocky start after Moses and his brother led the newly freed Israelites out of Egypt. Priest Jethro, his father-in-law, brought the Ethiopian daughter and half-Ethiopian grandson back to Moses. The Bible reads, Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back and her two sons, and said to Moses, I, thy father-in-law Jethro, am come unto thee, and thy wife and her two sons with her. And Moses went out to meet his father-in-law and did obedience and kissed him, and asked each other of their welfare, and they came into the tent. And Moses told his father-in-law that the Lord had done unto Pharaoh and the Egyptians for Israel's sake. And Jethro rejoiced for all the good which the Lord had done unto Israel. Exodus 18:9. Jethro was happy to hear Egypt's defeat because not only was he an Ethiopian priest of Midian, He was also a shepherd, according to Genesis 46 and 34. Every shepherd is an abomination unto Egyptians. Though educated in Egypt, Moses found his black father-in-law to be wise and a wonderful counselor, whom he relied on in governing the Israelites after he led them out of the African bondage. It is ironic that after Moses and Joseph had been placed in Pharaoh's palace, both of these Jewish men engaged in interracial marriages with daughters of priests from the Hamitic race. The wives of both Joseph and Moses were daughters of black men who were priests by profession, and hence their wives were raised as preachers' kids. Genesis 41, 45, and 2:16. Now, God judged prejudice against Zipporah. During the happy family reunion of Moses with his Ethiopian wife and half Ethiopian children, Moses' brother and sister Aaron and Miriam were displeased that their brother had married a black woman. Even though they were dark-skinned due to intermarriage by Jewish ancestors, therefore Moses' African wife must have been exceptionally black for Moses' sister and brethren to chide him from marrying an Ethiopian. And Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses, Aaron, and Miriam, saying, Come out ye unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they both came forth, and the Lord said, Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became white as snow. So I'm saying that to show you that God don't take color out, don't add color to you when he curses you. He takes the color out, turn you white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous, lack of color. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my love, I beseech thee, lay not to sin upon us wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one of dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when it comes out of the mouth of the womb. And Moses cried unto the Lord to heal her now. O God, I beseech thee. And the Lord said, She shall be shut out of the camp 7 days, and after that let her be received in again. So God let her be a leper for 7 days because of how she treated Zipporah, the black woman. Okay? God don't play that. God is not a racist. He don't play that. That's like the watermelon man. Anyway. Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt at the age of 80. Exodus 4 and 20. They would put Moses' half-African son in their early 40s when their father died, which means they were in generations of those 20 years of age who could not enter the promised land. Zipporah and her sons mourned Moses' death for 30 days with the tribes of Israel. The grief of the Ethiopian wife must have been especially difficult because Moses had no gravesite to visit. The scripture indicated God buried Moses in an unmarked grave. In his infinite wisdom, God chose a petite Ethiopian negress to help meet the man who parted the Red Sea, delivered the Hebrews out of African bondage, received the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments written by the finger of God, and wrote the first 5 books of the Bible. More fascinating is the fact that God entertained the idea of destroying all the Jews that Moses brought out of Egypt and considered rebuilding a nation of Israel from scratch using only Moses and his Ethiopian wife. Check that out. Okay. So that's your tidbit on Black History for the day. Zipporah, the Ethiopian woman married to Moses. Be blessed, my beloved. Bye-bye.